The reason you clicked on this video is because you still have dreams and you still fully believe in yourself that you can achieve the dreams. Yet you've still been having a few doubts along the way, and there's still times where you just feel like so many other people have gave up on the dreams, so many people your age, so many people and you just generally wonder if it is still like worth dreaming about it and actually chasing those dreams. So let me explain to you today, using what I'm about to write down, exactly why you still having these dreams is so special and why you should never give up on them. So there's plenty of reasons why. Now, first of all, you got to understand what your actual dream is. So obviously you watching this may have a different dream to me. This channel is mainly about organic dropshipping, and the most part of the goal with a lot of businesses, especially for us young entrepreneurs, is retiring our parents and becoming free. And what I mean by free is financially free, location free, and time freedom. Just having freedom to do what you want when you want. And that is my goal as well. That is my dream basically, and that is what I'm working to every single day. And I'm going to explain to you now, no matter what your dream still is, the reason why you still having that dream is so special. And there's number one reason why you shouldn't give up on it. And if you've clicked on this video, you are applicable to this. So please stay till the end and watch what I have to show you. So let me just say, this line, great, that's a great start. Pen's not working. Let's go with this one. So this line right here, it's not a straight line, it's a little bit dodgy, but let's just say this line right here, this line or rope, whatever you want to call it, represents the start of this line is basically when you become sort of conscious in life. And what I mean by conscious is when you actually start like having dreams and stuff like that. And what I mean, not like dreams as in you go to sleep and you have a dream. I mean like thinking about what you want to become when you're older. So, this normally happens when you're a kid, you're young and you have like these dreams. I want to become an astronaut, I want to become this, I want to become that. Like every single kid has these dreams, right? And the reason why, so let me just like do a few like dots here, just representing, it's just everyone at this age, right? There's just a bunch of people at this age who have the dreams, because the reason being, like the reason why every kid has these dreams is obviously, first of all, who you sort of grew up as, if you had like a good childhood and you've sort of just started in life, you've had like parents there who've supported you and who've told you, and every single person will tell you as a kid you can become whatever you want to be, right? Like no matter who you are, what you do, you can become whatever you want to be, you can become. And every kid is told this. I literally remember being told this, and I just know everyone has been told this, right? And that is why, because at that age you've had this like thing put in your brain, you've had this like visualization, you can do whatever you want, you can become whoever you want, you can be whoever you want, right? Now, as we go along, I mean, let's say when you start going to like school, or like the starting of school, that's when things change a little bit, because then it kind of more niches it down. So let's say when you're a kid, there's no limit to what you want to be. If you see something on the TV, you're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, like even, I don't know, just think of anything crazy, right? And you still have that dream because no one has told you can't do it, and that is why you're still, that's still your dream. But this is where things change, because now when you come to like this point here, there's obviously still quite a few people there with dreams. But when you kind of start getting into school, that arrow is probably a bit too far, by the way, but it doesn't really matter. When you start getting to that stage, that's when you're kind of surrounded by other people your age. And all it takes is one person your age to like not believe in themselves anymore, or to sort of limit their own beliefs and to tell you about it. That could literally ruin your dreams completely. All it takes is one person sort of thinking, oh, I can't do this, so neither can you. And then if they tell you that you can't do it either, that it completely kills your dreams, right? And especially when you're still at a young age, people can have a massive influence on you, right? Because if you're young, you don't really know, like, you haven't had a lot of life experience, you don't really know who to listen to and what to take in, everything like that. One little thing like that, one little dig, one little comment saying that you can't achieve something can really affect you, because that can have a massive influence on you, because you don't know if it's true, you don't know if it's not true, you just know that you've heard this thing and it stays in your mind, kind of. So let's say this is like obviously like the starting of school. This is kind of when you know, you still, a lot of people still have dreams and beliefs, but the problem with like it niching down as well is because you kind of shape as a person based on like what lessons you're in. So like say you wanted to become an astronaut as a kid, when you get to school, I know my school and a lot of schools don't really do a lot to do with like being an astronaut. I mean, maybe they'll touch on space and stuff like that, but point is you don't really have that kind of special thing for you, and it's kind of impossible for school to offer that in a way, because you know everyone has different dreams. You can't just say, can the school offer this for me because I have this dream? That's why, you know, that's how some people can sort of lose this dream, because they don't have a choice, they don't have an opportunity to sort of learn about how to become that dream self. And let's say then, obviously, there's a lot less dots here than there is now, because some people have kind of lost that dream now. And sometimes the dream is completely like irrelevant to maybe a subject at school or anything like that. Like personally, if you're watching this, you're about the same age as me. My childhood was like Fortnite and just like mainly gaming, but a lot of Fortnite, right? Fortnite, Minecraft, all of those kind of things. A massive thing. I had a massive friend group, right, about it. And me and my friend group always dreamed of becoming like FaZe, right? The FaZe clan. You all know the FaZe clan. That was like our dream. We all, you know, we wanted to live in a mansion, just play games all together. And life changes that, right? Life completely changes that. And it more changes when you get to high school, because that is like, you know, when you're fully conscious, you know what to listen to, you know what to take in. That is when it's kind of like you got to a point now where it's your own choices, and sometimes it can get overwhelming. Now, by the time, obviously, like COVID happened and everything like that was a massive thing. I was still gaming at the time and everything. I ended up like going really overweight, and kind of things just got a bit out of control. But that's against the point anyway, because kind of at that time I still didn't really have an idea in mind of what I wanted to do. So, you know, a lot of people at that age then had an idea, I want to do this when I grow up, I want to do that when I grow up. I didn't really have that thing, you know. I'd literally, my whole childhood I'd thought, okay, I want to get a mansion, I just want to, you know, live with all my friend group, live as like a clan, like this gaming clan, and just sort of live, you know, all together. And obviously, a lot of my friends kind of didn't have that mindset anymore. They kind of, you know, we went on different paths. It happens, you know, this is just what life does, really. And we kind of went on different paths, and that's where this kind of ends up here, because, you know, we ended up going to different schools and just generally different life choices, different, you know, dreams, everything like that at that age. And there was only like really two of us mainly that have stuck with that kind of mindset, and that kind of, you know, the sort of the desire to still achieve something, sort of the full belief in ourselves that we can go and achieve something even more. Um, and you know, this is why the circle becomes so small now, because there is like a very small number of people, especially in my high school anyway, that still like that have this dream to like sort of become their dream self. Because, you know, it could be a dream job, or it could obviously be something like me, like dream is running a successful business and having the freedom. But when it gets to this kind of point here, because you've had so many different sort of things put in your mind from many different people with many different thoughts, many different, you know, many different advice and everything like that, it kind of messes with your mind a little bit, and you'll either choose to go that way or that way. And obviously that way is, you limit your beliefs. You believe that, okay, life's stressful, I can't achieve my dreams, it's going to be too hard, I might as well just choose the easy option and just do what other people are doing. Because sometimes if you make friends with new people and they're all doing this one thing, you might just generally be like attracted to that one thing, even if it doesn't like really, you know, you don't really want to do it that much. Just because like your friends do it, you might go and do it, and you know, that can be another thing, another life choice that can kind of change everything and take you off your dreams. But anyway, if you're watching this video, you still want to achieve your dreams, right? So you chose this kind of other path where you're still thinking consciously, okay, I want to achieve these dreams, I still can. Now, if we go till like the end of high school, so I'm in college right now, and this is like where things have really changed, because this is the point now where people know what they're going to do, right? People have chosen, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. People have chosen it, right? it becomes very, very selective. You know, I'll put three dots there just for the point of it, but it becomes very, very selective of who's still like wanting to achieve the dreams, who still believes that they can achieve the dreams. And I mean, this is the whole, this like little life cycle right here of when you believe that you can achieve things and when you can't. This is the whole reason, the number one reason, I'll put a number one above it, of why you shouldn't give up on your dreams. Because if you are at this point right here, where there's just a select few people, maybe you don't even know them, but the point is there's a very select few people at this point who still want to achieve the dreams, you know, because just over time, it's very, I'd say it's very, 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 very rare that all of these people who had the dreams as a kid, you know, I dreamed to live in a mansion, I dreamed to do this, I dreamed to do that, have stuck with that dream until here. At least, like, you know, a lot of those people aren't going to do it because, like I say, life changes people, and you know the things that people take in. I was fortunate enough to be in the time where, you know, a lot of these like online influencers came out at the time. There was a very, very much like getting rich young thing. It's still a big thing, but I was like at the very point where I was like 14 years old. I was at that like 14 years old. I was the most sort of like able to take things in and to generally get opinions from people to be able to like choose my future path, right? And at the time I got into fitness a lot because, like I said, I'd gone overweight, then I went really underweight, and then I was like, you know, I was basically, if I don't put weight on, if I don't put muscle on, I'm going to end up in hospital. So it was literally that split decision there. I started weightlifting, you know, literally right over there in the corner of my room, I was doing weights. And that started everything, right? Because like as I'd got into that, it fixed my mindset because I was like, once I started seeing gains and stuff, it became addictive. You know, if you go to the gym, you know how that is. And basically at that time, my mindset had shifted. I was like, okay, I've been overweight, I've been underweight, I'm now going to change things. What else can I change? Sort of as a kid, I'd always been like quite creative. As I say, I've kept through here. I've never like gave up on that dream, even though at times it wasn't clear what my dream was. I've never gave up on it. I've never like limited my beliefs. I've never sort of thought, oh, I can't achieve whatever I put my mind to. I've never thought that, which is good. Because even in high school, I remember literally I'd be writing down like film ideas. Like it was, you know, I wanted to be an actor at one point. That was a big thing for me. Um, like I say, my path kind of changed, but it didn't change to the point where I thought I can't become an actor, so I'm just gonna choose the easy option. It never became that. It was just like an actor now is like, okay, I could become an actor still. I still had that in mind, but I was like, well, this path as well, it's going to lead me to success as well. It's still going to lead me to my dream, but I just think this path is better for me, and that was kind of how it went. You know, I didn't choose the easier option. I chose probably even the harder option, but it's gonna still end up with me in the desired place that I want to be. So basically that's how it was. I was very, you know, creative, writing down a lot of ideas, which was like at around that point there. But point being is that basically, like I say, 14 years old, I was very, very, you know, a lot of people online at this time with the getting rich young and stuff. As I'd already started changing my mindset because I'd been underweight, I wanted to change things. As I'd already gone through that phase, I was kind of like seeing all these people online, Get Rich Young, Iman Gardzi, Alex Hormozi, all of these people, all these stories, just very, very inspirational to me, you know. And I still watch these guys as well because they started everything. You know, I've got to give credit because they started like my journey. And that's how it kind of started with that. That changed my mindset. And then over time, you know, I actually started my own things. I started a clothing brand. If you watch my other videos, you'll know about that. Wasn't too successful. Ran that for about a year and basically didn't get any sales except to like towards the end. But that built discipline for me to then to understand, okay, this isn't based on results. It's based on action. And then, you know, delayed gratification is a massive thing. So kind of going through that then led me to what I do now, which is organic dropshipping, and I've stuck with it since because, you know, I saw success straight away. And it wasn't like, you know, maybe it was a hint of luck, but the part of luck is that I actually tried, you know, I actually put the work in, I built the discipline beforehand, and then I've gone and done it. So then I was able to get those results, and then, you know, as you know, last year I officially hit some big numbers, and now I'm being pretty consistent with it. So yeah, that's kind of where it's led up to. But the point is, at this point right now, if you're watching this video, you know, let's say you're over the age of 15. If you're over the age of 15 watching this video and you still believe in your dreams, in fact, if you're watching this video and you're over the age of 15, then you do believe in your dreams, right? Because you wouldn't be watching this. Maybe you've thought, is this getting a bit unrealistic at this point? No, it's absolutely not. You can achieve anything you put your mind to, because what it is it kind of goes opposite, right? We start over here where people are saying, like, you can achieve anything. I don't know why I'm writing this down because I've literally just told you, but you can achieve anything, right? Everyone tells you that. And then it kind of just over time gets taken out of your mind to the point where in college, still people say, maybe a few people might say you can achieve everything, but it definitely becomes less common because at that point, you know, everyone's kind of just drained out. Everyone's kind of just going for the easier option because sometimes it can feel unrealistic. Sometimes your dreams can feel unrealistic, you know. And obviously, every successful person you're going to see is someone who never gave up on that dream. And, you know, the point is, right, you've got this opportunity. The reason I don't, like, whether you're religious or not, right, I'm a Christian myself. I believe in God. And I believe personally that the reason you still have this dream throughout this time, is desire to do something more, is because God chose you to do that, right? And I feel that especially with, like, the case of me, because I went through a time period, like, obviously during COVID, when it was sort of a dark time, you know. I'd kind of just let myself go, had no self-control, I just got overweight, I was just playing video games all day. I mean, even at the time, I was still making like some YouTube videos every now and again, but it was really like a dark time. But then this desire came back to me when I'd started weight training, you know, and I'd kind of like, I decided to change myself, and then I'd done it physically, I wanted to do it mentally, and God kind of just gave me that burning desire. I still had that burning desire, and that's kind of what's led me to sort of the path that I'm on now, right? Path that I'm on now. I want to achieve good things. I want to achieve that freedom. I fully believe 100% in myself that I can do it. And yeah, that's kind of the story. But I mean, moral of the video, I've probably yapped a little bit there. Probably gone a bit overboard. I am really sweating right now as well. So I apologise if I like repeat myself or anything. This room is quite hot at the moment and I'm a little bit brain fogged. But point is, if you watch this video till the end, then you obviously still want to achieve your dreams, and you got to understand that you're very special to be in this position. And you don't want to throw all of this previous stuff away, right? The whole of your childhood up to here, you have believed that you can achieve your dreams. So you don't want to throw that away now, right? If you've even thought about, even considered taking the easier option over achieving your dreams, then take that out of your mind now, because you need to believe in yourself 100%. You've put all this work in already. You've believed in yourself up to here. So just, even if you don't do it for your present self, do it for your past self, you know. Do it for the, you know, the kid that you used to be dreaming of achieving your dreams. Just do it for him, right? Or do it for her. What, you know, do it for your past self, if not for your present, and then for your future, because you got to be, you got to be really grateful, right, for everything that happened in your past, every good thing, every bad thing, because that has built you to the person that you are now. And like I say, you're going to look back at this video, you're going to look back at the present time that you're in now, and this is going to be your past self, right? You right now are going to look back at this in the future, and it's going to be your past self, and you're either going to thank yourself for the decisions you make now into the future, and by that, the decisions you're going to make now is to ideally go and work towards your dreams, or are you going to like say, oh, he was such an idiot, you know, he gave up on that dream and then he went and did something else, and that was the bad mistake, you know. Just make sure that every action you take now, you can like look into your future and think, would my future self thank me now for doing what I'm about to do, or for doing what I'm doing? Just think that every time, you know, you're about to do, or every time you're about to make a decision, every time you're about to, like, you know, take something new on, anything like that, just think that in your mind. Just keep that in mind, right? And that's kind of all I have to say for this video. Like I say again, if I've yapped a little bit there, I do apologise. If you want a easier version of this video and more like in depth, or just want me to remake this video in any way, please let me know in the comments. Again, if you know, took value from this, then please let me know as well, because then I kind of know that I've done a good job, right? So yeah, that's kind of everything I want to cover for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the travel vlog as well from before. If you haven't watched that yet, I definitely recommend you go and do that. I spent quite a while editing that, I'm not going to lie. But I'm probably going to do some more soon. Do some more traveling and stuff like that. But first of all, I need to obviously carry on and work towards my dreams, and so do you. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching. If you want to follow more of the journey, please consider subscribing, but I'm going to leave it for now. So see you in the next video.